We'll do it live. Do it live.
Nigga, give me some more.
What's up, guys? First off, I want to say, no, I don't think Postchain has failed. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's just go ahead and get that out there before you guys come piling in. Let's go ahead and get that one out the way. No, I don't think Postchain has failed, but I do think we need to talk about this, man. We definitely need to talk about this. So at about 15 minutes, supposedly Jack is going to join us, and I'm going to tell him to give us the rundown about everything that's happened in the past. It's been about what, 5 days? Gaslighting, is that what that is? Gaslighting? I've heard that term before. What is gaslighting? What up, Scribe, Crypto Mance, Hex Down Under, Zenrisa, Zarisa, Denison, Saros. Damn, the FUD gonna be super heavy. It's not really FUD, man. See, here's the thing too, man. Here's the thing. I think, well, I'm gonna ask him, but from listening to Jack talk in all these spaces and stuff, it seems like he just doesn't want shit to be mid. He don't want the shit to be mid, man. So let's push it to the limit and make sure it's not mid. And it exposes what chains are mid, you know? So, and you know, I don't want mid chains, man. I want to make sure that a chain isn't mid, and what we can do to make sure that it's not going to continue to be mid. Let's see who else we got in here. Tony, we buy more tokens. The Twin Father, Crypto More, Wavy. It's about to get crazy? Nah, man. I think it'll be nice and kosher. Southern Bittail. So how y'all feeling about Postchain? Did y'all, let's see if my my bridge came through. Let's check that out. Let's see if we got, nope.
And it's gone.
Nope. Nothing yet. Still no bridged with. So that's the first thing. Well, that's not the first thing, but that's one of the key things that I feel like this isn't planned, man. I feel like this isn't planned. I don't think that things are just, you know, this is how it's rolling out. I think it has to do with the gas. I think the gas is too high. I mean, even Tits McGee, I mean, Katie. Fuck. Shit. Ugh. Can't delete it. Can't edit it out. Katie was like, you know, 8,000. She came into a space the other day and was saying that 8,000, it was 8,000 beats before Zen launched, and Zen wasn't the cause of the gas, but the gas is like 10,000x higher than that. It's like, yo, it's Zen. Zen is the reason that gas is as high as it is. You guys thought 8,000 beats was high. I was watching the stream and they were like, yo, the beats are 8,000, like before Zen launched. I went back and watched Hexo's stream from like I think day 2 or day 1, I can't remember which day it was. But they were like, whoa, the beats is 8,000. Yeah, man, burn, yeah. And, you know, they thought that was high. So I think that's what they might have been prepared for, is maybe 8,000, 10,000 beats being the top. Really, that was extremely cheap. Long story short. Grammar Police just called. It's Jack and I. Man.
Really, nigga?
What up, Dom? Jack versus Richard Hart in a boxing match. Who you got? I'm gonna say, see, this is what I'm saying, man. I don't be wanting to take Jack. I don't really be wanting to take that man's side all the time. I'm not really trying to. But I mean, I think Jack is probably more in shape than Richard Hart. Probably a little bit quicker and more agile. Now, as far as haymakers go, maybe Richard gets him. Dude, those arrow shirts are fire. Did you see Phoenix fix the future payout? Yeah. I still haven't got any Phoenix yet. Let me check that. Clickbait title got me. I mean, it's not clickbait. We definitely about to have, I mean, as far as I know, Jack's about to jump on Twitter Space. I'm gonna start a Twitter Space up. I'm not the biggest fan of running Twitter Spaces. I mean, I really don't like talking to people in general on the internet. But we're gonna start it up here in about 10 minutes. And I'm gonna try and do both.
Pause.
I muted all hex turns and hexkins. Boy, was that a mistake. Let me catch up. One ETH is 110 million Pulsex right now. That sounds about right. How much is ETH though? Let's look at some of this stuff. Let's catch an update. Let's take a look at, we had some updates. 1,400 wrapped. I mean, I see why they ain't bridged my wrapped ETH yet. Fucked right now. Wrapped ETH is 1,400. I mean, that's a dip. But the thing is, you can't even buy it unless you already over here, and you have to sell Pulse and Pulsex. Now, what they did last night was they added some farms. Let me refresh this. This doesn't look like it's, there we go. There we go. 53 cents. So they added some farms. And what happened, if we look at the charts, we can see that,
really, nigga?
Where's Pulse? Here it is. Pulse took a dip. And what's funny is it did exactly, remember yesterday? It did exactly what I said it was gonna do. What I figured it would do. Up. After breaking out of here. And it looked really good yesterday. But then they added those new farms. And it's like, man, they gotta be doing this intentionally. And you know, kind of maybe that was a good thing to start the farms up here so that people can sell at a higher price for the stable coins and pair their Pulse and Pulsex up and get into these farms and take this bait here, which is 4,000, you know, pretty much 4,000 in these two. Hex 2,000, wrapped ETH 5,000, USDT 6,000. I don't know why that's so low. So, you know, kind of baiting you into sell your Pulse, because you can't get any DAI or USDC without selling Pulse right now. You have to sell your Pulse or Pulsex. You bridging it, you gotta wait. So, you know, I guess, yeah, do that now, get it over with, instead of doing it at a higher price. But this is really attractive, man. I would love to, I mean, I would bridge some over. If it was a quick bridge, I would bridge some over. But by the time your bridge funds get over, this is gonna be much lower. It also hurt the APR on the Pulsex and Pulse pool, you know. My yield was pretty weak this morning when I woke up. It was like cut more than half. So, but it's fluctuating. I seen it as low as 53. It's at 56 now. So it could go back up. Yeah. Gonna go sell weed in Mint Zen. Bro, Richard Hart's doing this intentionally. Even the bridge. I could see, yeah, the pools, I say that, yeah, it's intentionally, but the bridge, man. What's the benefit of, I'm open to it. I'm open to, you know, someone's giving me a good reason, but what's the benefit to the bridge being like open but not open? Like, I don't get the benefit of opening the bridge and then nobody can really even use it. Benefit is the hype. What hype? I see hype disappearing. I'm getting less excited. Is he shaking out weak hands? I don't like that. I don't like the thought of shaking out weak hands, like getting people to sell. I mean, yeah, I hear you. Sell now before they sell higher, but somebody's gonna sell higher. Like, listen, who wants to get into a nightclub? People want something they can't have. I guess what you could say is, let's see what's in the bridge here. I think this is the bridge. Yeah. So the bridge is sitting with a cool 36. So it's went up by about 10 million since yesterday. So I guess you could say, you know, let's pile in, let's let people pile in their stable coins, let this get to a huge number, and then all at one time. I could see that being a reason. Let's let everything pile in all at one time, and you know, and then the FOMO begins. But we want to let this get we'll let this get as high as it, when it stops going up. You know, I could see that being a thing. I could see that being a thing. He wants people wrecked. If you can't buy or sell and the price drops 90%, that is a rug. Shaking out will be price manipulation. Yeah. Yeah, man. I guess, yeah, do the pools now when prices are low. Let people set up their pools. The community, you know, it's tempting. It is tempting to go ahead and get in these pools though, because I say you could probably sell, I could probably sell my yield and hop in these, but I mean, the yield has been pretty weak. If I'm earning $200 in yield and putting it in here, what's that gonna do? Nothing. Polkadot took 7 days to get your assets from the bridge at launch, and Polygon had to shut down. Okay, that's interesting. How many tokens in total has Jack launched? I have lost count. When is enough? Yeah, I think Jack's just having fun, man. I do want him to focus back on Zen though. I'm gonna get on him about that today. What time is it, actually? You know, I don't want to hear no BRC20 talk. I don't want to talk about no BRC20s. I want to talk about Zen, Phoenix, Zen Doge, Postchain. So what y'all think? Y'all think we should probably start with Zen talk first. Let me start this space up. So this is gonna be weird, all right? So I'm gonna basically start the conversation twice. Okay. I'm not good at these things. All right, I'll just let some people pile in. As a reminder, I'm on YouTube right now. So if you want to watch the space, Cleo already requested. Hey, how do I pin a tweet? Let me send it to Jack. So yeah, first off, I want to say I am not saying Postchain is a failure. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. But I do think that there are some things we need to talk about and some things to question here. So we're gonna sit here and wait for Jack, and when Jack gets in, we'll start it up. But come to YouTube, it's better. Yeah. What's up, YouTube? Jack loves BRC20s more than Zen now, looks like. Yeah, it does seem like that. It's kind of scary. What up, FOMO TV? BRC20 making some gains. Probably is, man. Get them and dump them. Trevon, I don't give a damn about. You talking about Hedron? Yeah, I just sell my Hedron, man. Little early to call it fail. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You know, just clickbait. Just some clickbait. To keep it 1,000 wow. Can't wait for Mr. Burn It Down to come in. Is this gonna be a pile on FUD of Postchain talk? No, I just want to hear his perspective about this launch process. I think he has some interesting thoughts about this whole launch process with Postchain. Yeah, I was talking to him. I was DMing him yesterday, and we started getting into it about Postchain. Okay, he's ready. Well, he's in. He's still connecting. Jack. Oh, he's muted. Just do it like this. I'm gonna let Cleo talk. Cleo's fun. Go ahead, Cleo.
Just like to say,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, mate.
in my professional opinion, the product is about as useful as a Yugoslavian gin salesman. It doesn't work. I don't like it. I regret sacrificing it. I would like to prosperity. Hope that he's given us all Pulsachans and Mexicans. So yeah, that's all I'd like to say. Trevor, thanks for being a real brother. That's all I'd like to say.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for your words. Let me get Jack up here again. Can y'all hear everything good on YouTube?
Hey guys, doing a sound check. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, the Twitter Spaces didn't work for me the first 5 minutes I'm on right now. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Sharon?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I just gave a little clarification. I don't think that Postchain has failed, but I do want to talk about some of the things we were talking about yesterday in DM. I think it would have been better in Spaces. So I would like for you to give your rundown as far as what's happened up until now, as far as Postchain, Zen, and I really don't want to talk about ordinals, bro. But yeah. Yeah, so what?
I think for the listeners and between ourselves, we should. This isn't going to be a shit talk or fun or hating of any kind. This is going to be the discussion of facts, what we know, what we have seen, and we will express our opinions. And obviously, the opinions may be controversial, and people who do not want to listen to the facts, I guess that's fine. You can stay, you can leave, whatever it is. I personally was and still am excited about the Postchain launch. I think the launch came sooner than I expected, and with regards to Zen specifically, there's a lot of controversy about how Zen has risen the gas for everybody. So on that subject, I would say that Pulsechain was copying all of the digital assets, all of the digital artifacts, all of the smart contracts, including Zen, into itself. So the sort of a copy, since Zen was not blacklisted in any way, the expectation was that people would continue to mint Zen on the new chain, on Pulsechain, and the gas would come up anyway. The problem with the copy, with the game mechanics, the way that we saw it, was that we track people's burn of Zen, and we give or plan to give X1 airdrops for everything you burned. So when the copy happens, all of the burn records also got copied. So we felt there's like two reasons was to launch the new version of Zen or start anew. One reason was that we always done it with any new chain. That's the reason number one. So we felt that it would be fair to do the same. Number two, the burn records would have been disqualified for the old Zen mints because it would have been a duplicate of Ethereum. So we didn't want to disqualify our community and the Pulsechain users from using their burn records to get airdrops. So the only fair way to do it, plus this other element of doing the same thing we've always done, was to launch new Zen contract, which is exactly the same copy, but all of the C ranks are reset, and people get the chance to mint the new NFTs, create burns, and therefore be qualified for X1 airdrops. So that is probably the most common question that people ask me. Now, the funny thing about this, though, and that's like really funny. So a lot of hexicans and a lot of pulsicans, a lot of Zenians, they actually asked for the C rank to be reset, and all of those questions were discussed before. So the other thing that's actually kind of interesting is that because we haven't participated in the Pulse ecosystem, and we didn't know about Pulse until literally 7 months or 6 months ago, we didn't have any Pulse, so we couldn't really load any new contracts. So I had a tweet where people were asked to donate their Pulse so that we could actually do it. And you could actually say that it was the friendly Mexicans that sponsored and paid for the Zen deployment, the new Zen deployment. So it's kind of cool, I think.
Right. So there's a lot of people that's kind of saying that that's not fair, though. Do you have any thoughts for that? Like saying it's not fair?
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, can you
I said people are saying.
I hear you too.
Can you hear me now?
Let's see if I can switch to my Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi is glitchy.
All right, can you hear
You're
me?
coming in and out. Can you repeat your question?
I said people are saying that
Yeah.
relaunching it was unfair. So do you think that it's,
Yeah.
you know, the motto is fair crypto. So do you think that that was fair? Because people can't get in. But my thoughts with that, my thoughts for that are, even if you get in Zen late, it's like right now the Zenturions just went live, so you're gonna get more Zen anyway. So being early wasn't really a benefit. But what do you say?
Right. So I would say, but before I say anything, let me switch my Wi-Fi because this Wi-Fi is glitching.
Jack relaunched like a spammer.
Okay. Tell me if you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So when it comes to fairness or not fairness, so first of all, I was 100% sure the bridge would work. So the reason, the way that the bridge didn't come up and is kind of like still glitchy, I had no idea that would be the case. But even if I knew, I would say that people who get into Zen early, they just get the vanity C rank. Most of their Zen, actually, you make more Zen if you wait for the C rank to come up. Yeah. Because it opens up the time duration for you to get more Zen. And also, as you mentioned, Zenturians just were able to be turned on. So really only the people who wanted to lock in the very, very, very early ranks really wanted to, at the expense of not getting enough Zen. So it's kind of the game theory balances itself out. The second thing I would say is that even if you haven't participated in the Pulse ecosystem, you technically have had your assets copied over that you could have sold for Pulse. So you could still play with Zen and end up minting. I mean, of course, Zen OGs, they go crazy and they mint rapidly and they spend all of their Pulse to do it. So there's no stopping there. And there's no way for us to stop it, and neither do we want to. So I don't think that was unfair.
Yeah, so the gas prices. So I had made a video saying that people could just, like you said, just sell their PRC20s. But after Zen launched, gas.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Damn, Jack calling from a jail or something. Indian. He said he can't hear anything. Oh, he requested again. All right. You there? Gotta be on my space too. Everybody else space. It must be I'm asking the tough questions. How can people swap? Okay, he says I stopped hearing what you bring when you bring me up. Let me reboot Twitter. Yeah, man, when I bring up that gas, nobody can swap. So how they supposed to get they Zen, man? How they supposed to mint? That's why he acting. So I'll just read YouTube chat while we wait. Jack ain't coming back. You called him out. All right, here you go. Let's try again.
Okay, I think now it will work. I had Twitter rebooted because every time you would bring me up, I would stop hearing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, so gas. Now, I was listening to a space the other day, and the Katie, she was saying that Zen didn't cause the gas to go up. And you didn't really fight back on that, but I think it's pretty obvious that Zen caused the gas because the gas on Postchain is like 4 million beats, and it was like 8,000 as Zen was launching. So why didn't you fight back on that?
I just wanted her to win. I mean, she's having a rough time anyway. So what's the point?
That's true. Yeah,
what's the point of talking back?
Yeah, I feel you. It just was kind of irking though, because it's pretty obvious that Zen made the gas go up as high as it did, when it's like 40.
It is true. It is true. What I want to say though in this regard is that raising gas is not technically an achievement. It is not the protocol's purpose to raise gas. So when people say you did it or you didn't do it, I figure it is what it is. The facts are facts.
Yeah, I just found it interesting that she was trying to like debunk that, because it's not really anything to debunk. Like, it's not really anything to bringing the gas up, like you said, isn't really anything to brag about. It just was weird that they're trying to debunk that like it's not a thing. Like, it's just kind of strange to me.
I mean, but listen, in a lot of Hexagon conversations and Hexagon groups, they can't even say the word Zen. I mean, they treat it as Voldemort. So, I mean, I think they're in shock, maybe in denial, and it's a mental thing. And it is a human thing, but it is what it is. I mean, like, we're not gonna say no, you're idiot Maxis or whatever. I mean, like, people can live in their own world, and who are we to disrupt their reality, whatever they envision themselves to be in?
Yeah. So let's talk about this bridge. I'm having like debates about earlier in this stream I was just having. People are saying that this is all like a rollout, slowly rolling, dripping all the features out. And you tend to think that the bridge is, you said yesterday that the bridge is just broken. So you don't think that it's just like him letting the hype build up, letting the bridge fill up with capital, and then just letting it all through at one time and letting everything pump? You don't think that's what's happening?
You know, whatever it is, it looks bad. Because
Really?
if it is manipulation, then it's bad because it's manipulation, and we're supposed to have a decentralized chain that's supposed to be organic, that's supposed to live its own life. If somebody's manipulating it, then that's not cool. I don't know if this is the case. I don't think there's anything wrong with the bridge. I think the number of transactions that goes through the bridge can easily be done under an hour. What I do speculate that due to the unanticipated cost of gas, the bridge operators, the validators just decided not to validate transactions because it costs so much, and they would run out of their pulse. Now, the reason why I say that is because Richard came on Twitter and asked people to send pulse to the validators.
Mm. So educate me. How does this bridge work? Like, explain it to me like I'm 5. Well, not that young, but you know.
Like you're 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually do not know how they run it, but I can only relay what Richard has said. So he said that there's 9 validators. They are all over the world, and they need to do something to push transactions through. At the same time, they need Pulse to do it. And he also said that for the validators to actually get this done, everything needs to be kind of like have a consensus mechanism where one is validating the transaction, and then there's a consensus where everybody agrees that it's a true transaction, so on and so forth. So that is a very easy operation, especially with only 9 validators. That's like walk in a park. It's not like you have to have a consensus across 1,000 nodes. So my point is that they used a forked token bridge code. That's according to the Richard's conversations and tweets as well. Like I actually haven't looked at the code myself. I don't know how coherent the code is or whether it's broken. I think it was a decision not to execute transactions due to the cost of gas. And that's why the transactions are coming in from the Ethereum side. You pay gas to the Ethereum validators. Those transactions come in just fine. But the transactions to Pulsechain are not going through because if they do validate every one of them and they have to pay gas, then everything's just going to be, they're going to run out of pulse, basically.
Yeah, that's basically. So you're saying it's 11,000 transactions divided amongst 9 people.
Yeah, but listen, like 11,000 transactions, a single validator can push it easy, like under an hour. You don't need to have a lot of validators. The more validators you add, the slower it becomes. So with 9 validators, this is actually very, very fast.
But how much would a validator have to pay to push out the transaction?
So, well, it is the same as a swap. So how much do we pay for a swap?
Oh, okay.
I think like maybe
1,000.
Like what is it, like 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So you take 1,000, you multiply it. You said 11,000.
Yeah.
So what is it, like 11 million?
Yeah, 11 million.
Yeah, 11 million is nothing.
Yeah, it's not a lot. So what is it then?
I think It's just they decided that the gas is too high and they're gonna throttle their
So
transactions.
we just said that it's not a lot though. So you just don't think that it's him. You don't think it's him just letting the bridge build up. It's at 37 million.
So we could speculate, and
Okay.
if we were to speculate, if I was a master manipulator, what I would do is I would let the bridge balance build up to 500 million and use it as a marketing token to say, look how popular my chain is.
Yeah, that's something that Richard Hart would do.
I mean, if I were to do that, and if I could actually take advantage of a big number, and that number would look really good. So, I mean, I'm not saying that this is happening, but if I were to use it for marketing, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. So what you gotta pick? You have to pick one side. Like you saying it's not good. Okay, we agree. Okay, I don't necessarily disagree or agree, but you're saying that it's not good. That's manipulation, basically. Do you think that's what's happening? Because 11 million Pulse is not that much, man. It's like $100, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe more. I don't know.
I will say that I do not know that this is happening, but if I were to manipulate the market, that's how I would do it. So draw your own conclusions from that fact.
Yeah.
But again, this is speculation, and the bigger issue is this: is that we need to ask ourselves a question. The team that was building Pulsechain were preparing for 2 years. There's two questions. Is Pulsechain ready for prime time, and is it scalable? And I think both of those questions will be answered with a no. It isn't ready for prime time for a reason of a bridge non-functioning. That's one. The Explorer not working well at all. It's throwing errors.
Yeah, that Otter Explorer. I mean, that Otter Explorer is cool because you can see but you can probably see it on. No, you can't see the Zen mints on the other chain as fast as you can see them on the Otter.
Yeah, you cannot see
Yeah.
the indexer. I know that Explorer. I know how it works, and I know that it's probably running on the janky hardware. Like literally, it cannot cope with the amount of transactions that the chain is having. We run our Explorer. It's the same code base, and we run it on an optimized hardware. We tested the shit out of it. It works great with 1,400 transactions per second. 1,400. And it works. Pulsechain can only do 15 transactions per second because it's Ethereum based. It cannot do more than that. So that tells me that the Explorer is not optimized. It hasn't been tested. It sits on a hardware that simply does not work well with that software, or maybe it has bugs or misconfigurations. That is the reason why it does not work. And again, because on X1 we tested the chain with 100 times more transactions per second than the Pulsechain can ever have, and it works just fine.
So I mean, I kind of want to get an X1 at the same time. I don't. I want someone to ask me in the chat. Ask him how to fix the gas situation. So do you think gas is going to come down on Postchain, being that Zen is running? I mean, I imagine it'll only go down if Zen kind of quiets down, which is kind of quieted down though. I looked at it on Zen Pub, but do you think the gas is going to go back down to like 8,000, or you think it's going to always be like this?
I think it should come down because every chain we entered, the gas went up for a week and then it came down.
Okay.
So there's no reason why it shouldn't happen on Pulsechain. And another thing is like, let's imagine this: 90% of people are taking blocks with Zen transactions.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's like every other block is a Zen FT.
Yeah, if a block is full, you see the blue progress bar. If it's full, then it's one Zen FT.
I'm on Otter.
So, okay. Yeah, so my point is that as the new protocols come up and the corresponding teams actually make them work, then there should be a dilution of interest from Zen to other things, which actually should lower the gas.
How much lower do you think?
I would say 60-70% lower from now. That's my estimate.
So it'd probably still be in the millions.
For what exactly?
Beats.
Oh,
because it's like
I would
4.
say, yeah, I think it's maybe we'll stay at $1 million, maybe a little bit more than $1 million. I think it's gonna be like that.
So why haven't you really been talking about Zen that much? Like, I understand why I do get the focus on ordinals, and I do see why you're doing it, because you seem like you really are just in it for the Satoshi vision. But at the same time, we have a community who's like, why aren't you talking about Zen? Like, have you like shifted focus? It seems like you have shifted focus from Zen.
So everything we launch is Zen, even though it may not have the same ticker symbol. So this is an ecosystem that's built on Zen's principles, and the Zen is the granddaddy of them all. And I could talk about it every day, and I will always be saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I would rather be talking about things that they're building on Zen, like DB Zen, like Zen Doge that's coming, like Phoenix, and invite people to build on the ecosystem. But at the same time, I mean, like if on the question of ordinals and BRC20s.
No. I'm sick of ordinals, man. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. So what is my personal mandate, and what is the mandate of Zen's team? Is to spread the word of Zen.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So killing Bitcoin blockchain was amazing for Zen, because everybody knows that Zen has done it, or at least Zen team did it, and Vampax token scared people so much that Michael Saylor flipped from being a Bitcoin purist into, he now has the shitcoin narrative in his
I saw
mind.
that. Yeah.
He loves it because the miners actually end up getting paid more with fees than the Bitcoin subsidy, which was always the hope that it would happen. But it was always a bearish situation because there weren't that many fees. They were making like $5,000, $10,000, a day, and now they were making $1 million an hour. Which is an amazing achievement, right? And us being there, our team launching this product and putting eyes on Zen is extremely bullish for Zen, because right now, Eric Wall and Udi, like all those guys that are very prominent in the space, they all talk about it.
Yeah.
Ivan on Jack, he was pretending not to know anything, but then all of a sudden he can't stop talking about Zen.
Yeah.
Like his words literally, Zen guys are going nuts. Right? Zen guys are going nuts on the Bitcoin blockchain. So if somebody says, hey, talk about Zen, well, guys, I just launched a project that forced Binance to stop transactions for a day. Was panic in Bitcoin markets, and Robinhood also broke.
But,
so that.
But hear me out. Are we seeing any? Is there any? I got 2 questions. For one, let me get started before I forget. First one is, are you seeing it other than your Twitter? Because when I launched my BRC20, my Twitter grew by like 1,000 followers too. But other than Twitter, are you seeing any growth in Zen? Because I'm not really seeing any of that trickling over to Zen. I don't really feel it trickling over. And my second question is, why do you keep, like, there's not any, like what happened with Arbitrum and Optimism, Zen, and the liquidity, the burn for liquidity, I think it was the liquidity NFTs and the burning NFTs, like all these projects that you say you're gonna do, but it seems like they keep getting pushed sideline to like Bitcoin stuff. So yeah.
So two things. Two things on that last question. Crypto is a very quickly shifting landscape, and when I first announced liquidity, NFTs, and various other things, and that whole roadmap with NEX and all that stuff, I actually did not appreciate how strong the builder community in the Zen ecosystem is, and how popular and successful DBZen would be. So it was a choice to deprioritize what we build in lieu of other people building so that we can support them, so that they can have their time and delight, so to speak, and it actually makes our community stronger when we talk about ideology and we talk about first principles and we excite builders to come and build, because our team is like 3 people, right? Where if we bring 10 different teams into the Zen ecosystem, it's just great for everyone. It's great for Zen, it's great for the chart, it's great for engagements. So that was a strategic move, and we just adapted to the market conditions and to the reality that the teams are coming in to build, and they're being very, very successful, and they're actually driving Zen's price up. Like, for example, in March, Zen was 6 zeros and 7, between 6 zeros and 6 and 6 zeros and 7, and it went 12x when DBZen launched, and a lot of people made a lot of money. And I would rather the other builders to have a bullish case for Zen than me continuously shilling it, because it's just not going to scale if only we do it, our team does it, and we also do not want to copy other builders' projects and say, hey, you did something amazing, we're going to copy and like do the same, and just because we want the credit, like, so to speak. This is not what we're about. So, but on the question of Arbitrum and optimism, that got preempted by Pulsechain. So we would have been live on Arbitrum and optimism, but we're a small team and we wanted to dedicate our time and effort for Pulsechain just because it was coming in hot.
But my other question was about growth, like from talking about BRC20s. Are you seeing it trickle over to Zen?
So this is what I look at. I looked at the certain KPIs, and the KPI is basically a key performance indicator. And one of those KPIs are the visitors to the website, to zen.network. And we just hit a million real users on the site. So people are learning about Zen. They're coming to the site. They're trying to figure out what the hell this whole thing is. So I think it wouldn't be necessarily an immediate crossover from BRC20 to Zen. I don't believe that would be the case. However, like, for example, Bitcoin conference is coming up in a couple of days. We're going to be there. We're going to talk about Zen ecosystem. We're going to talk about BRC20s. And we're going to hopefully introduce curiosity into the Bitcoin crowd. We want Bitcoin crowd to try it, the open-minded kind. Right? So that, if we have things to talk about, the more things is there to talk about, then the better it is for marketing.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna get some people up here. I would prefer, let's get some hexkins up here. Let's see if we got any hexkins. We got a hexkin logo. Here's a hexkin logo. Let's see what he has. What his question is. Cryptobolic. You're on the air. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Trey, and hi, Jack.
What's up?
Nice to see you both. Thanks for the spaces. Just to touch on the question from your chat. Jack, what do you think on maybe helping to lower down the gas on Postchain by maybe calling for people to stop filling up the blocks, even if you have the DMU count on any days banked as NFT, you will be able for the blockchain to just fill it to 50% and not bump the gas all the time, which will potentially benefit everyone, including the Zenians who want to just get on board it.
So, good question, and there's really two answers. Pulsechain is not busy. Like if you actually look at the number of transactions that are coming through, we're not seeing every block full. So I cannot say that the blocks are even 90% or 80% busy. I have seen the busy chain, and Pulsechain isn't it. So people have urgency to participate in the protocol. I do not believe we have the right to tell them what to do, because Zen is immutable and it's on chain, and there's no admin keys. It's immutable code.
And it's gone.
If someone wants to have a platform and say, hey, stop doing what you're doing, they can certainly do it. It's not going to be me, because that's not what I stand for. I think people should have a right to do whatever the hell they want.
No, I agree with you absolutely at that. It's not I am saying that people should not be minting Zen. It's just I'm saying that people maybe should think about how they're doing it and maybe mint it more efficiently for themselves. Because if you do that, you are more efficient with minting. Now, yes, everyone wants to have a Zenturian, and it's a bit untrue to say that Zenturians were only available after some time. No, the Zenturian cost NFT was available from the start. If it's 1 day or 350 days, it doesn't matter. It still costs the same amount of gas.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the cost. We're talking about the Zenturian class.
Well, yes, but Zenturian class costs 224 million Gwei, right? And Zenturian, and non-Zenturian of 128 VMUs costs exactly the same.
Sure. That's we never said that Zenturian should cost more or less.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Jack. I'm saying that it was said before that Zenturians were only available later on, and only then assumption is that the gas was getting higher and higher. But it actually, the Zenturian cost NFTs were there from the start. And
wait a second. You're talking about the cost. Let's be very, very clear.
I'm talking cost. I'm not talking about the Gwei cost. I'm talking about how much Gwei you need to mint as an NFT.
And I'm talking about Zenturian as a class being available the first day. It was not available because the C rank would not allow you to mint.
Yes, Jack, I understand that bit, but I'm talking about the heaviness of the Zen NFT. If it's Zenturian,
I get what he's saying.
The gas price is different, but it costs the same amount of gas.
Yeah.
The gas is the same.
Yep.
For Zenturian and any other NFT that has 128 VMUs. Like, for example, you could create a Ruby. A Ruby is the lowest class. And or as long as you specify 128 VMUs, you will pay the top gas. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, so let's talk a little bit about this. A chain that has full blocks is a healthy chain. The reason for that is because Pulse, which is the native gas coin, is in demand. And whenever something is in demand, it actually has longevity and it has the value appreciation. Because everybody wants Pulse to mint NFTs and Zen. And that's a good thing for the chain. The cost of gas is actually relative. I have translated the cost yesterday to $2. Yesterday it was $20, and today it's $5 to mint a Zenturian. So it is among the cheapest costs to do it on Pulsechain among all other chains. I mean, I would say it's the same as Polygon. Even Binance is more expensive. So I would say Pulsechain is between Polygon and Binance chain, BSC.
Yep, it's just, the guy has just launched it. We know he's rushing it. I'm not saying we should give him an easy time with that, because it took him a lot of time to work on the bridge, on the scanner, on the chain itself. And it seems like he's trying to, firefight with everything here.
You mean Richard?
Yes, and those fat Zenturians don't really help that much at the moment. Pretty much even the Xenians, in my opinion, but that's an opinion. But I also wanted to ask the second question. That was very interesting to me, is that you said that you wanted the burn on classic Zen to be fair, and you wanted to exclude it. Why does not time exclude it? Why you couldn't just say, okay, on Pulsechain, we will just start counting the burn for the X1 drop from the day it launched, and all the other burn will not qualify. Why wouldn't you do that?
Because that brings the centralization into the equation.
Well, it's the same way as you saying, okay, that doesn't count at all. That's also centralization, right?
That is what we want to avoid, right? So,
but that's what you did by saying that it won't count.
I did that, and it would be bad if I didn't have an alternative. The alternative was to do everything else we've done with every other chain, which is launch from C-Rank 1. So if I were to say, hey, Pulsechain is completely disqualified, and you guys would do whatever the hell you want, that would not be great. It's not good marketing. It's not good for the community. It's not good for growth. It's not good for adoption. So we wanted it to be fair, and to be fair, you just have to do it the right way, which is the reset all the C-Ranks and treat every chain equally, and that there's no reason why Pulsechain shouldn't be treated equally, no matter how hard or how long, how much money it raised. None of those things matter, in my opinion.
Okay, and the last actually question is that I wanted to ask you, what do you think about kind of false messaging when it comes to saying, like, whatever you do, you're going to get a copy of it on Postchain, this and that. Even Xenians and Hexicans were actually getting into Zen because they knew they were going to get a copy of it. And yes, they did get a copy, but it's not a real copy. It's just some freak site copy of a Zen that has just started. What do you think? Do you think it was actually right to say before that people would get a copy or not?
So two answers here. So one is that whenever I said that you're going to get a copy, I always had a disclaimer where I said that Richard is the one that's doing the copy, or Richard's team. So it's not me. So I deferred my judgment until to launch, but I always said that according to Richard, everything's getting copied. That's it. That was my message. And the other thing I wanted to say is, what was the other question? I forgot.
Well, it's basically what you were saying, that it's going to get copied. You're going to get a copy of this. You're going to get a copy of that. Knowing in itself that it wasn't actually your decision to copy it, like you just said it itself. So people were actually doing tactical moves with minting on ETH just to get a copy of this on
yeah. So
and then it turned out to be not the thing.
I understand. So this is I remember what I wanted to say. So first of all, Richard, the one who did the copy, and I actually did not know that he's going to do it or not. I just was stating facts as far as I know, the reality to be. And so, and the next thing is, let's see. So let's say that there is a copy, and you love the copy. Who am I to tell you what you need to do with your copy? In fact, the Zen Classic right now is traded on Pulsechain. So I'm not the one setting the price. I think the community ultimately decides what to do. So, like, yes, we launched a new version of Zen, which is actually the same copy, but it was launched with the C-Rank 1. However, if you guys, as a community, would have decided that you like Zen Classic and you want to use Zen Classic only, it was your right to do so. Like, I am not the one to tell you what to use. I just made the things available, but I'm no one in particular to say that this is what you should be doing. Like, you for your own persona, like, how can I possibly stop you from using Zen Classic, the copied version that currently exists on Pulsechain? Like, I cannot do it. Neither can I force you or ask you or expect you to go with the new copy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just wanted to hear your point of view on that, because quite a lot of people just get fixated on their point of view or their community's point of view, and people just need clear information, and quite a lot of people just are allergic to new information, from what I can see.
Yeah. I understand. And also, people, I think they have fixation on the founders, like whatever the founders say is supposed to go. This is not what crypto was designed to do. our ethos in Zen ethos is to launch a project, remove our ability to change anything, and then have you guys go for it, whatever you want to do. So however you want to do it. In fact, someone else could take Zen contract, which is open source, by the way, copy it, make changes, call it a better Zen version 2, and enjoy the blockchain or enjoy decentralization that way without any sort of central authority or any sort of angling of people into a particular narrow niche, so to speak.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much all from me. Thank you very much, Trey, and thank you, Jack. And as a tip, when you're going to be launching X1, please have some sort of a communication officer that will actually update people and don't do what
Richard Hart is killing
now,
us.
which is just feeding his own Twitter account while launching a serious blockchain. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Thanks a lot.
All right, I see one more Hexagon / Postchain logo, and then I'm going to get to red button after that. He's been raising his hand a lot. Let's go with Postchain Pimp.
Pause.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
What's up?
All right, so I have a question. My question is more about almost like a strategy question, but not really. See, my problem is that I'm trying to get a real position on Zen, and I have tried from the beginning minting, but then I'm kind of running into a problem where, like, you know how they say Jack's kind of spamming up and DDoS and other networks by like filling blocks 100%, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's kind of going on with my mind because every time I turn around, there's like something else new launching, whether it's like this new vampire stuff or like, it's just like for a regular person that has a job that's in crypto as well, to keep up with, it's just like there's so many moving parts that I think it kind of floods people out of like not knowing what they're missing because every time they turn around there's like something else new. It's very hard to keep up with. Now I get like you, Trevon, like you do this shit full time, right? So like you kind of keep up on it.
Yeah.
It's like your job to keep up on it. And you do a really good job of that.
Thanks.
But for regular people, we don't know what's going on from day to day because you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So what's your question?
Yeah. So my question is, if there's so many moving pieces, if there was one piece that I could focus on, because I can't keep up with all of them, and I know that I can't keep up with all these other blockchains, on Zen, what would be the one thing that I could focus on if I can't focus on anything else? Would it be minting Zen NFTs on Pulsechain? Would it be rocking out with ETH? Would it be trying to get into like all the new stuff, just like a DB Zen? Is that an option? Like I know they're all options, but they're not all equal plays. In my mind, there's like, if you can only have one play, you want it to be the best one. Now I see there's going to be 100 different plays coming up. There's already a bunch of them.
Why did I click on this nigga, bro? Why?
Okay.
Thank you.
It is true there's a lot of things happening in crypto. But you shouldn't really think that we is actually able to provide you with an answer. Because a lot of projects that are built on top
That's
of
why I
Zen
don't like.
may end up
That's why I don't
failing.
like picking people
So
from
how
the
can we
damn
actually provide guidance
space,
what's
man.
better for you? So
I like
it is
seeing the
part of
question
project
first.
for people to do their own research. And for example, you may love Bitcoin, and there's BRC20 VMPX token on Bitcoin right now. And if you love Bitcoin, go there, right? And if you love Phantom,
Really,
or you
nigga?
love Polygon, or you love BSC, then that's what you would be doing, or you just stay on Ethereum. It is improper for our team to provide guidance what you should be doing with your money, because it is decentralization. We're focused on educating people in terms of what they need to know about all chains, and then so that you can be informed how to make the proper decision. We cannot say that this is better, that is better, this is the OG token, and this is not. And by the way, this is actually a pretty obvious phenomena. There's at least 15 different meme coins right now that are hot. They're all launched by different teams. There's like Turbo, and there's Pepe, there's Ribbits, God knows what else, right? Now, do you have to be in every one of them? Well, I don't know. Maybe you would be. Maybe you're building a portfolio of shitcoins that are miming the shit out of the blockchains. That could be a strategy. Or you could be saying, okay, I love Ribbit only, or I love Turbo only, or I hate Gensler, therefore I'm going to buy good Gensler token. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So, I mean, and I know this is the answer you're looking for, but I think I have to say that you absolutely have to decide for yourself.
Well, those are different projects, all those different shitcoins, right? If I want to support the Zen ecosystem, and there's already, a ton of moving parts, and there's going to be continuing to be a ton of moving parts added, for me to do my own research, I can't keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's a big problem. I guess that's
I get it.
But also another question is, and this might be a total.
This nigga trolling, dog.
Right? This might be like, I might sound like a big retard for this, but so my question is, all right, so I don't think anybody speculates that the gas price, a gas fee is going to 10,000x. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I know that Zen, while there is like time, you said there's like an 8-year time thing where like, the inflation goes down and all of that as well. I get that. But so as far as that goes, like, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but how can Zen 10,000x if gas fees aren't going to 10,000x? And I'm not saying anybody said it was going to 10,000x, but everybody's in it for the gains. I'm just saying, like, at some point, even if Zen goes up a lot,
the one nigga, the one dude I clicked on, the one I clicked on, won't shut up.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I'm trying to say, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And my advice would be to look at Bitcoin. Zen is modeled after Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin's difficulty always moved up.
You just add this.
And it is my understanding and my belief that the digital assets that become scarce over time end up being higher in value. That is one aspect of it. The other aspect is that the fiat currency, US dollar, euro, and other shitty fiats, they're all printing them like no tomorrow. Which actually means that even if Zen does not move in the absolute terms, the fiat inflation will just push the dollar denomination of the digital assets higher. So you cannot lose by being in crypto. That is my feeling.
All right. Red Button. He's been holding his hand up for a while. Go ahead. We can't hear you. Or maybe. All right, let's get somebody else. Who else has been raised for a while? Quill Crypto. Quill Killface. You there?
He's busy minting Zen, dude.
Let's see. High risk, high rewards. All right, Danny got his hand. He's raising his hand. Let's see him.
Could I ask one real fast?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Jack, I do not know a lot of your background, but I've heard about Zen and so forth. But I think I maybe speak for a fair number of Pulsechains and Hexagons when I say that somehow or other you have managed to, it was supposed to take one pulse to send a transaction, and because of your efforts, it now takes multiple times that. At one point at 3,000x that. and that's not helpful to the new chain. What do you plan to do to alleviate the excessive costs that you have caused all the people that invested in Pulse and Jackson? And we don't care if you like Richard or don't like Richard. It's really about the community. So what do you care? What is your intention for that to solve the problem that you've created?
Good question. So, and I like questions like that because I can speak at length about the problems that I cause. So first of all, you guys are minting Zen. It is the Pulsechain and the Hexagon and the Zenian community that are minting Zen on new chain, and they're excited about the new chain. I'm not doing anything. It is a very positive development for Pulsechain. It's putting price pressure on Pulse. It's making Pulse more scarce. It's allowing people actually derive value from Pulse to people who sacrificed, who waited for a couple of years. Now, I know Richard has said that the gas price is supposed to be cheaper than Ethereum. And well, you know what? They are cheaper than Ethereum. I don't think he spoke in absolute terms what the gas price should have been. But we know that it is cheaper than Ethereum. It's about 100 to 200 times cheaper. And today it's 500 cheaper than Ethereum, 500 times. So everything that Richard has said is actually kind of in line. Now, maybe you have had expectations of very, very low gas fees in terms of Pulse. However, when the chain gets popular, you get high gas. Richard did change his mind about how the Pulse chain would have been built, and he copied Ethereum, which is notoriously slow, notoriously expensive, and it used to have been a Binance chain that was eventually changed. So when it comes to the technology used, obviously Pulsechain is exact copy of Ethereum. If it gets a fraction of use of Ethereum, it would be expensive. So, but I think a chain that is expensive is great for chain security, because if you're a validator, you're actually getting subsidies from priority fees. You're making chain more secure. The Pulse that you're staking is actually worth more money, and it creates more longevity for the chain. I know a lot about blockchains that are completely ghost chains. One of them was Phantom. Another one is Moonbeam, and there's another one, Cosmos. They are amazingly cheap. They're so cheap, it's a fraction of a penny to mint anything or to do anything on those chains. But guess what? They have no users. They have no users, and nobody has any desire to be there because there's no economic energy stored on those chains. So we should be very happy that what's happening is happening, that people are excited to use Pulsechain. So, and I'm actually glad that it is used the way it's used. So hopefully that answers the question. But finally, I cannot do anything to lower gas fees unless people stop minting Zen. So if somebody has a strong will to convince the whole community to stop what they're doing and stop using Pulsechain, then the gas fees will be zero. Until then, the gas fees will be what they are.
All right, let's try and get red button back up one more time. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Yes, hi. How are you? This is Red Button. Thank you for allowing me to come on. I have two questions. The first one has to do with Postchain and the validators and the whole issue with the bridge. And then the second one was just a quick question about Zen. So, from my understanding, I'm not sure if these are the validators on Postchain or these are the validators from the bridge. I don't know if they're two separate things, but doesn't each validator only need 32 million Pulse to become a validator? And if that is the case, and they're the ones operating the bridge, 1 million Pulse will be a lot if it's only 9 validators, correct?
1 million Pulse is...
I'm sorry, 1 million Pulse, excuse me.
Yeah. 1 million Pulse is $100.
Oh, wait, you said 11 million Pulse, right?
11 million to the what? What is that number?
Yeah, I think you guys were discussing
11 million is the total because 11,000 transactions.
Correct. So if each validator has 32 million to become a validator, 11 million.
No, they only.
It would be expensive, correct? Consider.
No, because there's 4,000 validators. So you have to take 11 million divided by 4,000.
Oh, I thought it was 9 validators on the bridge.
Yeah, but they can be rotated. So.
I see what you're saying. So it's rotating. Okay, I understand. And that was Zen. The next question was, so I minted a long time ago for Zen for about a year. But I don't own any Zen yet. I guess I have to wait for that year to mature. Is that correct?
Whatever the maturity date is, just make sure you mint at the point of maturity. Otherwise, it's not going to mint for you. It's going to expire.
So when we mint them, is that going to be considered Zen Classic because of all the changes and different things that's happening with the protocol?
On Pulsechain, you mean? Like, is it?
No, on Ethereum. Well, I've minted on Ethereum, Arbitrum, on quite a few different chains.
Okay, we're not doing any changes to any other chain. So there's no such thing as Zen Classic anywhere except.
Yo, Haskins is stupid, man.
Okay, and why is Postchain the exception with the Classic?
Because Richard copies everybody's contracts. That's why we call it Classic.
Okay,
let's get somebody else. Okay.
It wasn't deployed as a copy.
Correct. No one individual user did it. It was a copy. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Sure. Bye.
All right, let's get Marco up here. He's been wanting to talk to Jack for a long time.
Is that my friend Marco? Marco the Hexkin?
Yeah, that is Marco the Hexkin. That's Jason Tatum. It's an NBA joke. Unmute yourself.
For all the busy meetings there. Hey, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Barely. And there's an echo. How about now? It's a little better, still quiet. And there's still an echo.
I think he's talking from a potato.
Yeah, switch your phone's microphone. Get rid of your car connection. Like turn off your Bluetooth. Yeah, I did. Can you hear me now? Yes. All right. Yeah, there's still an echo.
Yeah, so real quick regarding the bridge and all that stuff, right? So, and I'm not defending Richard because, yeah, I do agree. I think the bridge it is a shit show, what's happening and stuff. But keep in mind too, right? It's not like he released a bridge and all this happened all of a sudden and we didn't know about it. He did warn folks for months, even the day before, even the same day, that when the bridge is not out, he doesn't recommend most people to do anything. Don't do ratios, don't do any of this. So people getting wrecked, that's on them, right? When the bridge came out, he even said it, guys, it's going to be congested. Be careful, and it might take a couple of days for everything to clear out. So people that acts like it's a surprise and all that stuff, it was going to happen. He told you guys in advance it was going to happen. Do I agree on it? No, right? I think he should have been more prepared. I think the team should have been more prepared, right? But even Jack, like you and anybody else out there, right? If you don't know the exact answer of what's happening, don't throw random words or intelligent words out there trying to make it make sense that you think you don't, right? Nobody really knows what's happening. Right? And the gas fees with Pulsechain and all this stuff, right? I notice you like to tend to make it seem like it's Richard with the gas. Oh, it's his choice, or is this, is that. But at the end of the day, it was your choice to relaunch Zen. And your excuse is, oh, to make it fair. You know what's fair, Jack? To let it play out. Fair was every single person that put the economic energy, time, blood, sweat, and tears, morning to night, minting for the whole year, because they were expecting to get the copy. And once again, like the other gentleman said, you mentioned multiple times to use that as an advantage of marketing, the copies. All of a sudden, now it's like you don't care for the copies, right? You could have just left it the way it was, right? And everybody would have been good. Everybody would have been happy. And progress would continue to where they left off, right? by restarting Zen, everybody in this chat knows why you did it, Jack. You did it because you was gonna congest the network, and that's fine. It's a free market. You do what you want, right? But that's why you did it, right? Let's be real. You know, it's not about being super fair. Because fair is fair. Fair is leave it the way it was, right? And if it's Zen Classic, that's what it was. That's what everybody did all year. Take the copy. Then let it be that, right? To do this is like not only you hurt your own community by doing this, you gave Hexagons the greatest advantage ever because we're the ones who end up having more majority of the
He ain't listening.
so we get to use it more than your own people. So not only did you kind of screw your own people with Zen Classic itself, because now they're confused which one they should go for, and that's like
Instigate.
like an emotional drainage for
Nah,
these folks.
man.
But now they now when they finally get Pulse, they gotta think twice to even mint because it's gonna be extremely hard for them to do because in their head is expensive because they don't even have that much Pulse to begin with. So it doesn't really help out anyone, Jack, when you did it this way, you know? And yes, once again, I understand you can, it's free market, you could do whatever you want, etc. But I think in the long run, it would have been better for everyone if you would have just left it as Zen Classic and you let the ball keep them rolling, you know? Your people get to use the network better, everybody else gets to use the network better. These continue, people don't lose their C ranks they had before. Yes, I know they still have it on Zen Classic, but once again, now people are not even sure they don't want to mess with that one, you know? And my last thing too is, and this is the thing, like I said, I'm not a big Zen guy, I'm not any of that, right? I'm just, a market guy, right? The last thing that I feel for the developers who's trying to build on your platform, I felt it was like a slap to their face when the past 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks, you barely gave them, markets and you barely basically, shout them out much. You have Phoenix coming out, that basically just came out. You have Zen Doge, whatever it's called, coming out, all this stuff. And you barely talked about it the past 3 weeks. While these guys, when you were coming up and coming in the community, they gave you the platform left and right, their time to help you out. And you're over here making BRC20s that they're basically all tanked within a week, Jack, right? It's almost like you wasted so much energy on the left side while you could have been focusing on the right side for your community, man. I think that was just the biggest, dumbest thing to do, especially, if I was in your team, that would be the dumbest thing to do, That's just my opinion on it.
Okay, I hear you.
Hey, mute yourself, Marco. Yeah.
Yeah, so listen. There will be things that you would consider dumb. I don't think that they are. Those are my choices to make. And the community, I would be happy with community to tell me one thing or the other what the community wants. Ultimately, it's not about me at all. It's about community doing what the community wants to do. Now, I understand what you're saying about the copy and people's expectations. I never wanted the copy to be anywhere, but I cannot stop it. So the choice that I was making was partially ideological and partially technical, specifically about, I talked about burn rate.
I'm going to challenge him.
I didn't want to disqualify Pulsechain or X1 airdrops. And again, nobody has deleted Zen Classic contract. People are free to use it. And in terms of me giving attention to certain projects, well, I'm just one person. Right now I'm going after Ledger because I feel like Ledger is screwing everybody over by making your private keys no longer private to you, and they're introducing centralization to probably one of the most popular hardware wallets. You could argue that I should be talking about Zen or Phoenix or DP Zen or Zendoge or whatever, right? And what I'm doing is I'm exercising my freedom of speech, and I have that right. Now, it may or may not be what you like, or it might not even be a good thing. But it is what it is. And I think we all practice self-sovereignty, so this is what I do, and that's what you do, and that's the world we live in.
Yeah, I agree on that, right? But especially the last statement you said, right? You're using your freedom of this and that. But, and this is why I laugh, right? So while your people are building and things are getting serious for your community and it's wrapping up, Jack, you wasted like 3-4 weeks doing BRC20 really for nothing. You wasted like shilling meme coins left and right for nothing, while your own community could have used your support this whole time. Your voice is powerful, bro. And then you say that, but then when Richard basically was doing his thing to talk about random stuff, you were clowning him left and right. Oh, you see, he's not gonna come out with Paul. You said this multiple times. Postchain's never coming out. Blah blah. He didn't talk about it no more. This and that. You say that in spaces. You say that in chat and stuff like that. So, which one is it, man? It's like you can't poke at him and make fun of him and tell his own community and your community, oh, you look, he gave up because he's not talking about it. But with you now, you're saying, oh no, I have my freedom to talk about what I want. Come on, Jack. You're in a different platform than anybody else. Whether you like it or not, you are the leader now, right? What you do does matter, whether you like it or not. I know you don't like to say the founders and this and decentralization, etc. But at the end of the day, dude, you're the leader, you know? And I think, you should understand what you say could hurt people. What you do could hurt people too, just like Richard Hart himself. And trust me, he made multiple mistakes along the way too. Just like Charon, he's a founder. All these other people, they're founders, right? Just like me, I don't have a crazy crowd, but I have a following where I see. So what I'm saying is, when you do these things, man, just think twice, right? Because at the end of the day, once again, you really didn't need to make this new Zen. Because even in our base, dude, I speak to you all the time in Charon's chat. Charon's there too. He can call me a fucking liar if he wants, right? Not cursing at you.
What? I'm not calling you a liar, man.
No. I'm saying you could call me. Multiple times when people was in the chat and was like, "Hey, what do you do if Richard blacklists, Zen on Pulsechain?" What was your answer? Then we implement that ourselves because we can. But right now we don't need to do that. We'll see what he does. But he didn't. So there was really no need for you to make another Zen on the network because your goal was to use the copy at that moment during that time. That's what I'm saying. It was like, it almost feels like you only did it just to congest the network on purpose. And listen, I want to make it super clear. One, hey, thank you for that because you're burning the shit out of Pulse and it helps the validators.
I'm fighting for my life.
That's what it is, right?
Yo, tell me this.
Right? It really doesn't help them, bro. Because once again, your people at the moment, they don't really have Pulse, and it's going to be really hard for them to play with it in the beginning, especially because now they're going to come out their pockets to play with it even more. And then they got to decide which Zen to play with, right? And that's more Pulse they're going to be wasting along the way. And then some people are going to be forced to stay on the Ethereum side, and they're going to get wrecked over there with gas and all that stuff. So, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'm not looking at the biggest picture, bro. You are way smarter than me in a lot of things, but in my eyes, honestly, I really think it wasn't worth making this new Zen. You should have just kept it the way it was and just left it like that, man. That's just, my opinion, honestly.
Okay. I guess you.
And last thing, too, you did make the comment where,
Really, nigga?
Yeah, maybe if, I should have communicated with the community better, they would have told me maybe things were different. Jack, your thread, you had almost hundreds of comments, people telling you, don't do it. Like, why would you do it? You should have made a poll, man. I think the poll would clearly say that people didn't want to switch, So, and like I said, look, dude, I'm not trying to just attack you. You are a really smart dude. We do talk in the Telegram chats a lot. We go back and forth. I troll you, you troll me, you troll Richard, we troll everybody. You got your own community, you're doing your own thing, but I just think like this move did hurt a lot of people in the long run, especially. And I don't know if you realize it or not. That's it, man.
Okay, I can answer. Also, there's no echo.
Hey, go ahead and mute yourself, Marco, so it doesn't echo.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think I have some valid points. I don't agree with them 100%. I think what's done is done, and it wasn't done haphazardly. There was a lot of thought given to sort of action. It was actually Pulsicans and Hexicans and Zenians, everybody who likes Zen and interested in Zen. a lot of people asked me to relaunch the version. Like, it wasn't really even my idea. So a lot of people DM me in private and said that here's the reason why you should do it. And I considered it very, very deeply, and that's what I have done. It was not specifically to destroy Pulsechain in any way. And as you say yourself, it's helping a lot of Pulsecans to grab value from PLS because it's now scarce and it's deflationary. It's awesome. It's getting burned. It's exactly what Richard wanted. It's in line with his philosophy. And it's in line with every chain's philosophy. The gas token should get burned. It's great for chain's longevity. On the question of whether Zenians now are priced out of the markets, I disagree with that assessment because it costs $5 to mint Zenturian right now. It's literally that cheap. It is as cheap as it is to do on, very, very inexpensive chain. So it is cheaper than Ethereum for sure. So I don't think that's like really a valid point. Anybody can do it. I mean, bridge not working, but what can we do, right? And then the last thing I wanted to say is, how you said that, well, I've been trolling Richard for wearing Prada all the time and not doing shit, right? So when it was actually with Trevon that I had this Zen space, and Trevon asked me, like, well, why is Richard Hart lying? And I said, I don't think he's lying, but I don't think that Pulsechain is coming out any time. Because looking at the way that he behaves, I can't imagine a person being interested in developing anything when he's shopping all the time. That is my personal assessment. Now, I don't know, maybe he's a super genius and he's shopping and managing the project, with utmost attention. Maybe that's what happened. I have no idea. To me, it looked like the guy is like not even interested in launching Pulsechain. So I said those words, and I believed in those words, and I stand by them. But guess what happened next? As soon as I said those words, Richard removed his purses, removed his cars, removed his watches. He became the humblest person in the world, the way that he describes himself right now. And he was tweeting about Pulsechain updates right after that space. Not a single day has passed since he wasn't actually tweeting a technical update to his community. Now, you could say that this sort of trolling was not helpful. Well, I happen to disagree. I think it's dislodged him for whatever the funk he was in. It made him into a better founder, and now we have Postchain.
Nice. Let's get, I see another Hexkin looking profile picture. Let's get Brennan up. Go ahead, Brennan.
Yeah, so I have two things. I've got a question for Jack, and then I've got an observation that I want Jack to comment on. So the question, Jack, I think you said, nobody really could have foreseen or predict, or maybe we could have predicted it, but like the extent to which the bridge is clogged is pretty crazy. I remember the first day on Pulsechain, I was able to do, because I had no Pulse or PulseX from any sacrifice, but I did have Hex. I was able to do a Hex approval and a Hex swap into Pulsechain just on 0.02 Pulse that I had, which was given 1-to-1 for ETH, right? So I was able to actually do some things and get in early and make some swaps and other things like that. Of course, once you boarded that aircraft and launched Zen, everything changed, right? So Zen definitely pushed the gas prices up. So I guess my question is, if you had known then that the bridge would completely shit the bed if you launched Zen, would you have held it off for a week or two and let everybody get their money through?
The answer is no, and I know it's controversial, and here's why. So first of all, the bridge is not congested, and the bridge isn't non-functional because of high gas. It is maybe non-functional because validators are not funded enough, maybe they're not willing to do what they're supposed to do. Maybe Richard is holding a finger on the button. I have no idea. But it's not due to transactional congestion, because I know how blockchains work. That is not an issue, technical issue for the bridge. So if it's not a technical issue, it has to be an executive decision, so to speak. So now let's say that we look at the bridge and we decide that we're gonna wait for the bridge to work, okay? Wait for the bridge to work, and then we'll launch Zen. If we were to do that, and everybody rushes in to mint Zen by bridging over their funds, we would have had a bigger problem. Now, this isn't FUD, but a lot of people believe that bridge has admin keys, and it could be hacked, and it could be rugged, and it's a point of failure. This is actually on Twitter, and there's this one person talking about it because he looked at the contract. He claims the bridge is controlled by a single wallet, and there's $30-something million locked in it right now that could technically leave the bridge and disappear. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but according to the tweet that I have read, and I actually responded to the tweet, the person claims that the bridge is the single point of failure, it is the weakest link, and if there's a lot of money there, it means the target on itself would be hacked, and if it does get hacked, that would be the end of Pulsechain. Now, the decision that we were making, or thinking to make at the time, that if we were to wait for the bridge to be completely functional, then it would be almost like the bridge is getting attacked with all the hexicans, pulsicans, and zenians trying to bridge funds over to mint Zen, and we're putting them in harm's way. So we thought that it is best not to wait and let those two events, bridge being up and Zen launching, be disconnected.
Okay, thanks for that answer. And then I have an observation I want you to comment on. I think a lot of people in the community are, frustrated, angry, these sort of things, and they're blaming you for launching the Zen contract and increasing the gas prices, and in their eye.
The hell? Hey, what happened if you lose connection? I gotta close the app. Can y'all hear me? Okay, so what should I do? If I close the app, will it end the space?
I think as the liquidity comes through, prices are going to dump, and that's actually what happened. I went to bed last night. Wrap Pulse was, I think, 2x SAC price, but the liquidity was pretty thin. I wake up this morning, there's at least 1.5 million liquidity for Pulse between DAI and USDC, and the prices have pretty much gone below SAC rate. Wrap Pulse is around 30 to 40% lower right now. So I would actually make the argument that Zen, even though it caused gas prices to go up, is actually kind of holding the Pulse price up right now. And once that liquidity does come through from the bridge, everyone's expecting their, 10,000x or whatever. I think you're going to get a lot of red candles. It's going to be pretty bad. I mean, it's already starting to show. So, Jack, just wanted to hear your comments on, what you kind of expect for price action, and if you think Pulse price is actually being supported right now by some of the early Zenians minting NFTs. Thanks.
Can y'all hear Jack? Because I can't.
Yep. Oh, I can hear you as well, so it's fine.
Okay, I hear you now. Is he talking? Jack, are you talking? Because I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, he's talking.
I can when I unmute myself, I can hear Jack talk, but when I mute myself, I can't hear him. So y'all can hear him. What the hell? I'm scared to close the app because I think the app might end it. What y'all think? Crypto Rich. What up, bro? Yeah, I'm the host. Try it. Okay, I'll make. Okay. Wish me luck. Nice.
For proper explorers, it works. So it's not sad to see those people.
Shout out to
Thanks, Jack. And just to confirm, no price predictions. You don't want to throw a couple numbers out.
I do not predict the prices for even for Zen.
All right. Well. Just before I step down, just wanted to let all the people here who sacked know. This morning, I was able to buy Pulsex for 80% off, and Pulse for 30% off. No slippage, plenty of liquidity. So yeah, there are people buying stuff below sack rate right now. There's enough liquidity to do it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. I will take one more juicy question, and then I have to go because I need to get ready for the Bitcoin conference.
All right, well, let me find me a good Postchain or Hex logo here. Let's see.
If I may ask a quick question, Jack, when a stream on healthy living and utilizing maximum of your potential, because you seem to get it.
I just need to find the good co-host to do it with. So as soon as I find someone who is interested in those sort of things, I would be very, very glad to do it. Thank you.
All right. Let me get let's get post crash. You're muted. All right. Let's see. Let's get this guy's raising his hand. Crypto Watch 24/7. You're muted.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Hi there, everybody. I have some speculations, and I have zero knowledge on blockchain, but I've been an investor in the Postchain. I invested down 80%. And as much as I like Richard, he, like other, Mexicans, he's not my Jesus Christ. So I'm just create awareness and to see from the experience from Jack Levin. Could it be that is there a possibility that there was a glitch or some kind of a hack into the system, and that's why they halted the bridge? Because there were stable coins, there was two DAI stable coins, and maybe USDTs or USDCs and they said, "Oh, don't use that one. That one has no value." But yet, I had somebody who traded and more than doubled their bags as soon as the bridge was launched. It went up and came down, and then yesterday when I'm like, well, this thing's going down, as I put some of the funds into a USDC stable coin, it was not an actual stable coin.
And it's
it
gone.
was valued at about I forget what it was, like 61 cents and going up to 80 cents. So my main question is, because at the end of the day, it's our livelihoods that we're putting here on the line, and I'm sure Richard and everybody, all the guys who've been, they're doing well off. But I mean, to me, I put a good chunk of money and I'm out. Yeah, I could DCA, but is there if this is a copy of Ethereum, shouldn't the copy should be a pure copy? And if it's been adulterated, is there a fix to it, or do you think if my
and you really roll the dice with these requests, man?
That might be true. Could that copy be fixed, or do we have to start over and do another copy and not launch the project until the values are correct on both ends, at least for the USDC or the stable coins?
So a couple of things. I don't think there's anything that's actually being hacked on the system level. That's not what I have seen or heard from anyone. Doesn't mean it's not happening. I don't believe it is happening. In terms of stablecoin values between the chains, whenever a stablecoin record is copied from Ethereum to Pulsechain or any other chain, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay at the same value at all, because it's a copy. You cannot duplicate money between chains and expect them to have the same value. So you will see USDC or DAI on Pulsechain, and it will be worth pennies. It doesn't actually mean you lost any money, but you would not necessarily have the parity between the chains initially. Eventually, it may happen, but not initially. The last thing, the third thing that I have heard is that there are some hackers out there that are doing dust attacks. They're sending you coins that look like USDC, and you think it's the right contract, but it's not. And if you interact with that contract, they steal all your money. So the proper solution there is to go to the Pulsechain webpage that shows all of the contracts listed. Like there's a contract for Hex, there's a contract for USDC, there's a contract for DAI. All of those addresses, they have to match whatever is in your wallet. So we just have to be careful there. So that's all I know on the subject.
Yeah, because Miat's a Hex guy I call myself because I've invested in it. In the Zentrum and other projects, I'm not, closed-minded to just one ecosystem, but to me, it just seems like, if you launch a project, and we're not even listed in CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and the block explorers.
That's gonna be another question. I'm gonna see,
because that one was, now
he might take another one because that one's
other, that's not even working and so forth. It's just so many issues. So I'm just wondering if this copy of Ethereum that has been launched has just been adulterated so much that's just not going to be of any good. Might have to go back to step one. So you don't think that that's a possibility that
well, this isn't a question for me, right? We really need to ask Richard what he wants to do.
Oops.
But I would say that, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with the bridge, the station for the Explorer. Those things are fixable. We just need to give them time to get it to work properly, and then everything will work fine. I know it is possible, so it's just let's give it time and have things settle in, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. In the meantime, if you're not rushing into trading, just don't do it. Just let the thing settle.
Okay, but not just because you're here, but I think it's not fair to blame your project, anything that's causing that on Pulsechain. If it's built right, it should be able to handle it, even if it just takes it's a little bit slower, but it should be able to handle what it's made for, handle more transactions and take the load off of Ethereum and all those kind of things. But, just people are so minded and there's just no communication. Everybody's quiet now. There's no celebration now because things are not working properly. So it's kind of frustrating. But okay, well, thank you. And I just, I want to.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to take one more question and then I have to go.
All right, let's get one more. Let's get Let's get Pepe ASIC.
Hey, Jack, Trayvon,
What's up?
CC, and others, thanks for bringing me up. Jack, fellow first principles thinker, I think everyone's bitching entirely too much. Granted,
Not bitching
I think
enough.
Postchain could have been
We
better,
want more bitching.
but it's really an MVP, and I'm not intending on using the bridge. I don't want to get caught up in that nonsense. So do the best you can with what you've got with where you're at. And in my case, I am just banging the hell out of farming. Set up liquidity pools with whatever economic energy you have on Pulsechain.
If I was me, I'd just be like mute.
Ink,
Next.
just drain the ink off, buy more tokens that
Yeah,
are
do.
farmable,
So do
and
you?
make money. So here's the question. Go ahead, Trayvon.
I was gonna say, do you have a question?
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that there are plenty of things you can do. You just got to take what's available and do the best you can. Jack, here's the question. So the bridge, even if it was perfectly operable, is suboptimal. What are your thoughts about getting Pulsechain where the people are, which is a centralized exchange? I remember when Steve Jobs opened up his first Apple store at the Galleria, Tyson's Corner. They asked him, they said, well, why do you want to pay so much per square foot? Everyone else that's tried this has gone bankrupt. What makes you think you can do it? You know what his response was? That's where the people are. And so right now, yeah, Pulsechain's had an uneven launch.
Really, nigga?
But I think if they were to get on a centralized exchange with a big fat green button next to it, it would make it so much easier. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you. Centralized exchanges are great for marketing because anything that they list that's new and hot usually brings a lot of eyes. It can also attract people really hard because I remember when Zen got onto an exchange and it was valued very, very high. People were getting into it. They didn't know what they were doing and they didn't read the white paper. Just like zero clue, shiny object, dump a bunch of money into it, lose everything. So that is the negative. The positive is obviously is marketing. Now, this may be controversial. I don't think Pulse will be listed. And the reason why it will not be listed is because it's held closely by the founding team. And exchanges do not like that sort of configuration. So that has been my observation over the years. Unless the founding team does something with their allocation, maybe give a bunch of it as the liquidity for the central exchange, maybe the Janet will work. But they're probably not going to do it. Again, speculating. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. But generally, if you have a pie chart with only one, green sliver, a triangle, held by community, which is about 10% for Pulse, and the other 90 is for the founding team, I don't see Pulse being listed at this point.
Damn.
Thanks for the response and good luck with X1 and all your future projects, sir.
Thank you very much. I followed you, so follow back if you would, and let's keep in touch. Thanks a lot.
All right, you out, Jack?
Yeah. I mean, Trayvon, any closing remarks? Should we?
I see a few people on in my Telegram, the shield room. They're saying that you're talking in circles. I think the biggest thing that people are really calling cap on, as they say, is that you really forked it to just clog up Postchain and make the gas high, and you're kind of playing it off like you wanted to start over, which, I mean, it is a good excuse, but I mean, even I kind of agree. Like it is a good play. If you want to test Postchain, let's relaunch Zen on there and see if it can handle, because that's what we want. We don't want mediocrity, right? We want everything to be A1. So that's basically my last remark. If you want to rebuttal that.
As I mentioned before, obviously we know how Zen works. We knew it would have
risen the gas price. We just didn't know that it would be that impactful. You just never know. But the number one objective was just to treat Pulsechain equally, and not to disqualify Pulsechain for the gas burn records. That is what it is. That is what we wanted, because we wanted the Pulsechain to be treated equally. Now, let's go back to just this one important point. Let's say that the Pulsechain would have launched without any copies of Zen or any tokens, just a fresh chain, and it works poorly. Do you think I would have launched Zen on it? I wouldn't have, because I don't want to launch Zen on a chain that's poorly working, has barely working Explorer, non-functioning bridge. It would be ridiculous to do it. Like, why would I do it? It's like, why are you getting into an airplane that's flying with, one wing falling off? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So the reason to do that, to launch on the chain like that, is because Zen already have had a copy. So it was almost like there was no choice. We could have left it alone, but then we would have the community be minting Zen Classic that isn't worth anything. So that's bad too. So yeah, I mean, Zen's copy on Pulsechain kind of forced the hand, so to speak, because we didn't want this sort of a confusion and the waste of resources to be applied to a token that will be technically disqualified because it is a copy. And there's no fairness in qualifying burn records for something that people have done on some other chain. So that is another very important statement. It's not like the Pulsechain was targeted specifically for it. A lot of people who wanted Zen were on it. Zen was already copied, and all of those circumstances were kind of made me decide that it really needs to be done, and what happens, right? It wasn't attack on Pulsechain.
Are you sure it I gotta be honest, man. Don't get me wrong. I like what you're doing. I like that you're testing things, pushing things to the limit. But I think it's more of you pushing Postchain to the limit and less of the burn records. Even though I think the burn records is a good I'm not sure what the term would be, but a good a good excuse to lean into, as far as why you launched Zen so fast. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't call it an attack. I would say it's an attack, like you say, on mediocre blockchains. Let's see if it's mediocre. So I can never know the truth. I can just listen to what you say. No matter what your reasoning is, I don't care whether it was what it was. I like the decision.
Okay.
Anyway.
So let me. I appreciate your take on this, and let me tell you this: having people freak out is fun, because it makes them rethink their reality, and they actually reset their behavior, and it's actually a very educational experience. Again, it is fun. However, it is still not the primary objective, because we are on 11 different chains now, including Bitcoin. And to be perfectly honest, Pulsechain is really not that big of a target to prove to the world that it sucks.
Let me say this. The reason I'm thinking that it kind of was an attack or a way to push it to the limit is because of what you're doing with Bitcoin and the ordinals. You brag about how Vampex clogged up Bitcoin. You brag about how kind of how Dogecoin and OKX, they had to change their whole setup. And then you get the Postchain, and it's like, oh no, Postchain is just because we didn't want the copies to be burned over. And I'm not trying to, I'm trying to get you to admit something that's not true. But that's why I say that it's kind of hard.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, let me tell you this: a lot of Zenians are Hexicans, and a lot of Hexicans are Zenians, and they're all possibles. So that is another consideration, right? Obviously, why launch something that nobody knows about? So that was also a consideration. I knew that Pulsechain would struggle, regardless, even if Zen wasn't on it. It would struggle just because it took 2 years to launch it. And because Richard decided to copy Ethereum just a couple of months ago. You cannot release a product that is not a minimum viable product when you just decide to copy something like 3 months ago. So that is simply not possible. So that is the fact. And whether Zen exists on it or not, it would still be the fact. Now, me personally, I would much rather talk to the Bitcoin crowd and have them be upset at me than a bunch of Pulsicans.
Why?
Because Bitcoin is a bigger target. They are those people. They are actually a cesspool of mediocrity. They need to be shaken out of their worldview today, right now, so that Bitcoin can scale. It doesn't have $2 billion. It has $400 billion in it. And they absolutely need to be stressed out. They need to rethink their strategy. They need to have their leaders get their heads out of the sand, and they need to talk about what's coming. And what's coming is chain adoption. Chain adoption, not just because we're there, but because it is where the world is moving anyway. Because fiat is devaluing, and Bitcoin used to be this store of value, and now it's actually useful for people. And there's so many people in Bitcoin, and finally they can trade their Satoshis for ordinals and BRC20s. That is actually a much bigger and much more important playground for us to be in, just because the impact is thousands of times greater for the world. I mean, think about it. We launched VMPX and Binance shut down their transfers, and the Robinhood has started to fail. And now all of those companies are thinking about Lightning Network, and they didn't think about it before. So there's much bigger impact with Bitcoin. That's why I talk about Bitcoin, and that's what I really want to achieve is people really to stop living in their static world. So and I know you guys love Pulsechain. I mean, I like technology. So, but let's just say that it isn't like, hey, Pulsechain, we're absolutely putting all our eggs into Pulsechain. I mean, technically, right now, the target is Bitcoin. And when I say the target, it isn't like we're killing it. We're just making a statement that your network needs to improve. Because if it doesn't improve, it is not worth using. And we want people to use it.
All right, well, I got one more quick question, 2 more quick questions you can answer quick. What's next from your side as far as Zen goes, and when can we expect, like, I don't want to say a launch for X1, but yeah, a launch for X1. Like, what's the timeline?
Okay, so the next 2 things that are happening. Well, obviously Zen Doge is coming in like 3 days.
Right.
So I'm super psyched about that. I think it's going to be great. I think it's super bullish for the project, for the ecosystem. I think it has great economics and has a great story. Real dog, lives in my house. Amazing. And also makes it a good meme. So that's definitely, I'm excited about it personally.
Me too.
The next 2 things, Arbitrum and Optimism. We haven't done layer 2s yet. I'm really curious what will happen with Zen being deployed there. If they end up being broken, well, hey, now they have a reason to fix themselves. So
see what I mean, though?
What?
So you see what I mean? Like, it I don't want to go back. I don't want to backtrack, but it just kind of seems like that's what it's to see. Like, let's see what's a good blockchain to settle down on. Like, this is your little app that you deploy to see if you want to maybe invest. Like, I don't know, but go ahead, continue.
No, I wouldn't say that. There's no money for me in it. Like, I don't have any pulse. Like, I cannot even mint Zen for myself on Postchain. So the making a statement is much more important. And I, obviously, like, I cannot make a statement without the community behind me. So it is the community that is engaging with the contract. They're not promised anything. Like, I don't promise anything whatsoever. No value is promised. The community loves the protocol. They love decentralization. They love first principles, immutability, open source, no admin keys, all that stuff, right? The reasons why we're in crypto. And so we're just accelerating the crypto adoption everywhere. So layer 2 is coming next. We're going to continue to pound on Bitcoin and develop new interesting things and scale the ecosystem like that. So it's super exciting. I think it needs to be done. And if we don't do it, then we're going to be stuck in mediocrity for not only 5 years. And then if crypto loses its shine, so to speak, and loses its first principles, then companies like Ledger and EU will ultimately KYC everybody's assets, and that's it. Crypto will be over. So we want to make sure that the community and the crypto adoption is staying strong and is accelerated forward.
Oh, so Arbitrum, Optimism, and then X1.
X1 was in 2024, and we're planning integration with Bitcoin. So the X1 nodes will run Bitcoin nodes as a hybrid solution with validators, validating the records from Bitcoin and using Bitcoin as an optional settlement layer. So L2 for Bitcoin on X1 will be an option. And the idea is to bring Bitcoiners into Ethereum world and likewise bring Ethereum into the Bitcoin world.
So is that something that's like, is that hard to do, or is there a reason? Like, let me see. So are you stalling that because of, letting the community grow first as far as the burns go? Or is it something really hard to do?
It's very easy to do. We're not stalling. We're working full speed ahead with it. We're doing all kinds of experiments. We just don't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's we have all kinds of things are running in the test bed that's working really well.
All right. I think that's all my questions. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Jack, one last question. It's from where I'm sitting with my nose smudged up on a window looking in to your world. It's pretty obvious you've come out on all the chains. You've broken every one of them. And is that to design around the flaws so that you have the best blockchain of all time? And if that's the ultimate goal, what is it going to take for you to look past 25,000 tokens and less than 2 trillion in market cap and start going into other store of value asset classes and make an honest to goodness appeal there? And I'm specifically talking about money markets, real estate, commodities, gold, silver, S&P, and NASI. Because I think if you were to design the best blockchain of all time, then we could finally go from risk-off assets to risk-on assets like X1.
Yeah, very good question. So this is kind of like a philosophical, ideological thing. It isn't my goal for myself to be the designer of the best products in crypto out there. That is not my goal. My goal is to rally people to step up and do better. So if I can inspire the movements to continue and to do amazing things, then I would die happy. That is ultimately what I want. So when it comes to the design of the technological solutions, I will be obviously the one looking and judging and scaling, but I will not really be the one writing because it's going to be open source code. We're building an open source community, a team that's going to get together, link up on the ideology of what the first principles are, and give birth to the product that embodies that. But again, it is the community that matters. It is the people behind all of the projects. It is the open source builders. It isn't really me in particular. I would be happy to make money with it if I could. Not really focusing at the moment, because everything that we have done really didn't take much money at all. So yeah, I would say that this is the ultimate goal, is just to get everybody together and create a movement that actually stronger than it ever was when it comes to crypto adoption and first principles.
Well, if it's an aspirational goal, I wish you the best. You're the right guy for the task. And I would absolutely love to target the $400 trillion bond market, the $127 trillion real estate market, 5.1 trillion in money markets, and on and on and on. I just don't see crypto right now being a viable contender for people that are flooding out of money markets and other store of value assets, unless someone like
because
you
you're old.
fixes it. And, you now know the strengths and weaknesses of every chain out there.
You don't get it.
So I honestly hope you put it to good use.
Okay, well, I appreciate the trust and kind words. Thank you very much, everybody who listened. I do have to run, but you guys know where I am. DM me anytime, tweet at me, and there's also Telegram, so you know where to find me. Thanks, everyone.
All right, peace, Jack. You guys can come over to YouTube. I'm still live streaming. We can continue the conversation. Richard Hart just dropped some bridge news. We're gonna talk about it. Thanks for tuning in, though. You can get the YouTube on my Twitter. It's in the bio. It's my link. Peace. Breaking news. Stop using, what do you say? Stop using the bridge.postchain.com. More coins are coming in than are coming out. The software that the bridge validators use quite successfully over the years of testnets is dying under the load. Whoa, man. This is what I don't like about this dude. He don't make shit simple. Like, I really think that he just wants to seem smart, yo. So he just says it's so complicated. He could just make this shit simple, man. Until a quorum of 6 to 9 signers signed that they saw an entry to the Bitcoin, entry to the bridge on the Ethereum side, nothing comes out of the Postchain side. 10 smart entities are working relentlessly on trying to get that software to work with the higher load Postchain's popularity has brought. Right now, this method gets the software to go back and find transactions it needs to sign, but it crashes if you ask it to do more than 100 at a time. 32 gigs of memory in the instances, with 4 to 5 gigs allocated per container allocated. Suggestions or references to solutions or people that can create them faster are greatly appreciated. Getting the Oracle software to work again like it did for years on testnet is quite doable. It just needs to go back and sign the transactions of 30,000 or so it didn't sign yet due to gas estimation or crashing. Aww. So what? So is it stuck? What? Is it working? Man said over years of testing this, it's dying under the hood. Shit. Dying under the hood. Richard Hart's not a developer. This dude a master manipulator. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. Let's see what this image says. If the bridge does not handle an event properly, i.e. a transaction stalls due to low gas price, the DB, I guess redistribution DB can be rolled back. You must identify which watcher needs to rerun. Man, I wish I would have seen this while Jack was on. For example, if the validator signs signatures were collected, but the transaction with signatures was not sent to the foreign network, the collected signatures watcher must look at the block where the corresponding nigga. What?
Really, nigga?
This is you. What you post this for? I guess for developers to drool over. Bro, what? Postchain is the Hulk and the bridge is Bruce Banner's shirt. What was the volume you were expecting prior to launch compared to the volume we are seeing? Like, I look at this, man. Like, I go back to Pulsechain, and it's not that much transactions, bro. It's only like 24,000 transactions a day. Unless this is just not real. Unless this is all a lie. It's not that much, man. The most was on launch day. 600,000 transactions. Unless this is just not real, which is also a problem. Like, come on, man. Is this real? 27,000 transactions? It's not even that crazy, man. What's going on? Are we gonna make it? This is fake issue. The chain is fine. He posted it so Jack could see. Yeah, I wish I would have looked at it while we was people don't want technicals. Yeah, we don't want to hear this shit, man. If you're gonna give updates, give some updates that the people that's using the shit can understand. He said Otter is accurate. Let's go back to Otter. Okay, we gotta go to Twitter and find the Otter link. Stop using the bridge. Things that are working amazing. Postchain.com itself and postsex.com itself. Things that need to work. Bridge and Explorers. Okay. No shit, sir. Wow. You really hit that one on the head. But hey, man, like I say, I'm gonna push back on whoever. Come on, man. Why don't link to Postchain? Okay, this is Postchain. Okay. This is stupid, man. This is so stupid. This is worse than... Okay. But it doesn't show how many transactions happened today. Let's go to this right here. Blockchain transactions. Yeah, there's no way to really see how many are happening per day. Jack was most definitely stress testing Pulse. Yeah, man. I have a hard time believing that that's the only reason. I think it's a accumulation of all the reasons. You know, let's do this. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. You know, let's do all of those things and, you know, the benefits will arise. Man, that's wild though, right? Don't send funds to the bridge. 38.4 as people continue to send money to the bridge. Everyone's posting about it in the chat, yeah. You really think 2 years for this crap? Think Jack Levin and Richard Hart are working together to boost awareness for both projects, or at least realize they benefit each other in long term. Jack Levin following Richard Hart marketing playbook from 2020. I asked Jack if they're working together, and he said He said it's not for hire. So he didn't say they're not working together, but he did say he's not getting paid. So I don't think they're working together, man. What is Jack doing that helps Richard Hart? If anything, he's his enemy. He hasn't gone live once in months because he knows he's not giving it his all as he did Hex. You think so? Look, as you said that, like if you think I try my hardest to make the world a better place. Retweet if you have hope for the future. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think it's bullshit. I'm starting to think it's all bullshit. I mean, Jack makes it seem like it's pretty simple to get the bridge to work. And then you go to Richard Hart's Twitter and he's like making it seem like it's super difficult. I don't know who to believe, really. I can tell you one thing, the way Richard Hart has been moving is sus from where I'm from. Wouldn't you want a chain that could handle contracts like Zen that load up the network and not be so highly affected by it? I do. That would be a scalable network to me. Right. That's why I think Zen is a friendly virus, because once it's deployed, if your chain is popular, you know, we're going to see if it can handle even more popularity. So yeah, and it's looking like it can't, like Postchain can't, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, it's burning. Oh, let's refresh on this and see the bridge. Yeah, this number has gone down. This was 12% last time I seen. I mean, it's money in there, though. If they can get that shit out, they can get it to the other side. That'd be sweet. Ethereum is king. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people say it sounds pretty simple. Appreciate the 10 Potato Gang TV. The age-old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my ally. That's a good one. Who would have guessed that Richard Hart wouldn't live stream Postchain launch? Yeah, I would have never guessed that. But I mean, as it got closer, even when it launched, I didn't think he would live stream because he ain't been live streaming. This nigga ain't even took a selfie, dog. That's why I say, man, there's a conspiracy saying that that's not even him on a Twitter account. That's one of the conspiracies. That ain't even him, dog. Yeah, I don't see. See, this is the thing too. If it's not a stress test, hold on. If it is a stress test, if Zen is a stress test to Postchain, I don't see, and they're hiding it, I don't see the reason to hide that. Because if it was like some, yeah, we're trying to see if Postchain can handle it, you would just say that. It wouldn't be no real reason to hide that. There's nothing. What would you hide that for? So that's why I kind of believe him, because there's no reason to really hide that. You're trying to see if Postchain can handle a lot of transactions. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good test. I mean, I don't wish death on him. Don't get me wrong. I don't wish death on him, but that's an interesting conspiracy. Like, he really ain't posting no selfie, and he was doing that. Selfies, pictures. I mean, he ain't even gotta be flexing. I mean, it's the longest Richard Hart's went without a stream since I've known about his channel. Yeah, he is still blocking people like Richard Hart. So that is a good indicator, blocking people. But I was unblocked long ago, like a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago. He unblocked me out of the blue. I mean, it's like we just sitting here waiting now. Like, this can't be for marketing, like letting it build up. Like some people saying, oh, he's just letting it build up. I mean, that's a L. And then you tell people that ain't what's going on. You tell people to stop depositing. That's not what he's doing. I think he really wants people to stop. Yeah, there ain't nothing you can do but wait. All I can do is keep compounding my ink into the pool. We got robbed. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. He unblocked you. Yeah, he did, RP. Man, that's something to think about there. Because, I mean, you got your Postchain, but shit, you can't get no value. Hold up. Trevon's Space with Jack recap. I'll check that out later. That ain't how you spell my name. My name is, I don't have no E in my name. The E is invisible. Trevon and the E is invisible. What up, stank mouth?
Pause.
Actually, it's pretty smart to disappear slowly like Satoshi, separating him from his creation. Yeah. After the bridge is up, go ahead, do your thing. You right. It's in the cut. Let the community build. Someone didn't want Post to come out and Jack was the weapon of choice. Why? Well, man, I don't think Post is that big of a threat to anything. It's old tech. It's not really that innovative. It's cool. It's a good product for Hex. I think they went, I know what I think, man. I think they went a little bit too hard with the airdrop. I think they should have just left that out. Just made a little Polygon clone so Hexicans can do their stakes. You know, and have Hex as the gas. Like, that was the easiest thing. It could have been so easy, man. You would have been burning Hex. No airdrop. The airdrop really kind of messed it up. Trey, he's giving too much info, letting people know that the bridge is crashing makes it a target.
Damn.
If you believe Jack, you daft. I mean, Jack's kind of right, though. Because he's saying that they can't figure it out. So what is it then? Jack is saying they should be able to push that stuff through easily. It won't cost that much. How much will it cost? Even if it's just 9 nodes and not the whole. Well, it is. It's all. From what I understand, 9 nodes that are rotating. And amongst the, how many nodes is it? Or validators, 8,000. They can get this shit pushed through. It seems like it'd be pretty simple to push that through. It wouldn't cost that much, man. And I don't even think it would cost the swap. Would it cost a swap or would it cost a send PRC20? It wouldn't cost that much. 700 times 11,000. 7 million pulse? Come on, man. That's a couple $100 worth of pulse. It'd be game over if Jack launched his own bridge for Postchain. I think, nah, that was, I heard the Maxi guy. Let's see, refresh, see what's new. I didn't scroll Twitter in a couple hours. That's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna check that out today. Here's why copy Zen on Pulsechain is not fair. Imagine you got into the Zen community through areas only minted on that chain. Once Moon Pire's best one rolls out. Yeah. There's some people that can't see the big picture. Yeah, you just hype, man. Postchain Bridge is owned by one EOA admin key. Zero. I guess this is who Jack was talking about. No time lock. All bridge funds can be instantly rugged with this key. I don't like this dude, actually, but he's a know-it-all. It's insane how many other replies are, it's okay, we trust Richard Hart. X is really a cult. I mean, come on, duh. Who is loyal to... Why are fucking plebs getting a better deal on Pulse and Pulsex than me, who was loyal to a fault, and they now getting a 50% better deal by swapping? I mean, but nobody's really getting that deal because nobody is able to really move over. It's a few though. How much has been moved over? $1 million? 38 million hex? 900,000? I mean, it's a good little chunk of change. That is kind of fucked up, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Richard right now. No worries, they'll fix it. Has anyone else noticed how the only people flooding Postchain right now are the Zen zealots? It's almost as if they have an agenda to push. Nah, man. What's the agenda? I guess if there was an agenda, is that this nigga's lying. I mean, Zen users are the only ones who are in. Most Zen users are hexagons. So it's like a crossover in the communities. So that's why it might seem that way. And the only ones that, and they're the only ones that'll speak up and be like, okay, yo, something. And they're not the only ones. That's not even true, bro. I see a lot of hexagons like, we just saw one. Who was it? We just saw one a few seconds ago. This dude right here, Carl Hex. He's complaining. Got a fucking Hex logo, not a Zen logo. The only part about the PLS and PLSX dip is not being able to buy them. Yeah, man. He didn't show up. He never does, man. I think he doesn't show up because he knows Jack is gonna eat his ass alive.
Pause.
I think that's why he doesn't show up, because he would show up in the past. Appreciate the 10, Jose. Jack has one goal and protect Zen value on each chain. That's why he created 2 contracts on Postchain. Furthermore, he said on chat, Zen copy on Postchain will have no value. That's the giveaway.
We need to move Lonzo. That ain't no problem.
You know, protect the, yeah. Protect the ETH value. I like it. Cliff notes, bridge is congested, stop using. Take a super majority of validators to confirm. Dev team is working on a fix. Takes time to go back and sign all these transactions with the software limitations. Takes a super majority of validators to confirm. So is it 9 or 4,000? 6 of 9. 6 motherfuckers can agree. Y'all can't get 6 people to agree. It's kind of wild, man. This is what I was talking about. If you don't see the tweet, Art said start using the Postchain bridge for now. Huge shout out to setting the first step up and building the first bridging solution for Postchain and allowing people to get PLS for gas. Great work. Okay, so apparently you can go here. Now Marco, the dude that was on Twitter Space, said he don't like this. He's a diehard Hexkin. People that didn't say Pulse, however, users have the ETH and want. Come on, man. Want PLS budget. How much? .000 ETH per PLS. Okay, so apparently it's not cheap though. You're gonna pay a premium, and I don't really feel like reading all that, but you guys should go read it if you're gonna use it. Hold on, I have a friend who sold 2 million PLS for PLSX. Or PLSX, I forgot, for 34,000 DAI. He then bridged it back over to Ethereum and just got it. I don't believe that. No, nigga, I have a friend who sold 2 million PLS for 34,000 DAI and he bridged it back, and you're saying don't do that shit? This is Bristology. He's slow, man. Anyway, let's move on. You gonna tell people not to try? I mean, of course, I don't believe it, but if that's working, nigga, you 2 million PLS for 34K? That's a come up. Somebody he gonna regret it. How you gonna regret that? When PLS is 1 cent. Okay, dude. Heskins are stupid, man. Postchain, what are you smoking? They're like a dip. You dip? Just paid the 11 million Postchain gas. That's like nothing. Then fix things. People money is stuck in the bridge. Let them in. Yeah. Yeah. Is that? Or did he just listen to the stream? Maybe he just listened to the stream and he thinks it's 11 million. Maybe it's not 11 million. 5 ink tokens. Come on, man. Come on now, man. My bad. Let me look at the chat. Yeah, the only people that can mint Zen is the people that sacrifice. So is Hexicans. Don't y'all talk to your own community and tell them to stop. Like, it ain't Zen users, it's Hexicans. They can't get on. Like, come on, man. This motherfuckers are stupid. Jason Tatum. Bootleg Drake. Hey, Postchain haters, I want Osmo. Bring it here. Y'all so blind you can't see the game being played. I don't believe it.
Really, nigga?
This shit is so broken, dog. This shit is so broken. I'm not even like trying to FUD. I'm just speaking what I'm seeing. That's what I do. I call it how I see it.
to 5-10 minute video surrounding feed, and then we're going to go make sure you are careful of who you follow and what information you absorb out there right now, especially during the early days of Pulsechain. So this gentleman, Chris Black, Pulsechain Bridge is owned by one EOA admin key, zero history, no time blocked, all bridge funds can be instantly rubbed. Who holds it? So KDP highlighted, you must be new here. 99% of bridges have admin keys. They need to. And Pulsechain Bridge has 9 validator nodes processing transactions that are spread across the world. So again, guys, there's a lot of FUD going around.
It's the LOL for me. It's the LOL from her. That's what really kind of triggers me.
Careful with who you're listening to. Be careful with the FUD out there, because it's going to be very, very blockchains. And they're listed in order of...
Anyway. Uh-oh, Eric Wall chiming in. Why do you think he's laying? It has to be perfect, no bugs. People would 100% laugh and point fingers if bugs were found. Software is difficult. Oh, this was in 2022. If Postchain had a quick launch with mistakes, it would be ruined for a while, if not forever. Jesus. Mother of God. What up, Marco? Of course, the chart is down when the liquidity isn't there yet. Are you new? Who you talking to? You must be talking to an old version of me. Catch up with the chat. Catch up with the stream. Yeah, man. My Pulsechain bot keeps failing. Is everyone else experiences too? Nah, I ain't got no failed transaction in a while. It's probably because you're trying to die, man. How much liquidity is there? Pulsechain and die. Where did shit go, man? Looks like they moved it up here because of the amount of transactions. So that's good. Yeah, man, I'll say what's good. Well, there's no Pulsechain die pool. Oh, here it is. Oh, 8K. Well, I mean, you should still be able to get in with that 5. You got to be quick, though. There's about a 4 times 2x incentive to deposit PLS to fill the 8 bids. Okay. I kind of get what you're doing there. Do I still have that window open? No. Are you going to Bitcoin Miami? Man, the thing is, I don't be knowing about these things until they happen. Like, I would have if I would have known it was going on. When is it? I wish I knew. I definitely would have went. I want to go to some crypto conferences. Pop up. Bro, you're fucking BitConnect. But I never know about them until they're here. Are clearly giving insiders their exit. Probably under threat. Sheesh. Thursday to Saturday. No, that ain't no time for me. Well, fucking BitConnect, dude. Zendoge this weekend. Let's get it. You talk about burning some Zen? This gonna do it. This gonna do it. Steady burn too. So we're gonna have 3 key burners. Phoenix, you know, is doing what we expected. you know, one quick burn and then some trickling burns, 182. So, you know, DB's in. DB's in rolled over. It's getting kind of scary. It's like, damn.
Damn.
It's doing all right though. $7.5 million market cap. Yeah, I wonder how low this will go. Because we're at 8.9 thousand DXN per day. How much is in the pool? 20,000. How much got unstaked? Not much. Crypto is dead. Get out while you can. Yeah, it is getting kind of scary. Like, it does seem pretty quiet in crypto, man. Scary, man. Scary times. I mean, I haven't even looked at any of the major cryptos like Ether. See, for me, it's kind of easy to be comfortable. Even if crypto starts to slide, I'm going to be chilling because I know, like, most people will get scared if ETH drops to like 16 or 1500. That's not going to really do anything to me because I've been through all of it. So I won't start to get concerned about crypto until ETH is at like 400. Then I'm going to be like, oh shit, what have I done? What's going on? And for Bitcoin, it's going to be like 10,000, 9,000. That's when I start to get concerned. But at these prices, it's still good. So when I start getting concerned, go ahead and buy some crypto. You know, go ahead and get you a bag. Div slow way down. Yeah. DBZN is a year-long thing. I think it's going to be about a year until most of the coins are mined and distributed. And who knows what the price will be. My plan, I'm going to stick to my plan. I'm going to keep compounding. I'm compounding like 95% of my divs and I'm keeping some of the ETH. So that's my plan with DBZN. Just keeping my bag of DXN built up. Let's check the Phoenix ratio 8:4. Yep, still cheaper to just go ahead and buy, rolling over. Yep. I think Phoenix continues to roll over. Well, I don't know because we got on Saturday, Polygon Phoenix is going to hit it's going to have its flush. Yep. This weekend. And when that happens, people are going to realize that, oh shit, it was profitable to do short mints. And it's holding up better. See, it's starting to go up towards the burn equilibrium, I'll call it. Because the payout's about to happen. So this is your last chance to get some stakes in before that payout. So I think the same thing's going to happen with the Ethereum one. And it might happen sooner than we expect because we got Polygon about to show what happens when the flush address happens, or the, what's it called? The pool party. And he just did a video, so I'm going to watch that today. But all right, it's been a good stream, guys. It's been nice. This was fun. Hopefully the bridge gets fixed. Hopefully everything gets back working perfectly. Hopefully we can get those funds into Postchain and they can pump the price. Hopefully it just doesn't sit there forever for, you know, all eternity and fucking it's rugged. Hopefully the Hexkins and Pulsechains are right. Zendos this weekend. I'll probably do something maybe Friday. unless something happens tomorrow. If something keeps happening, I'll keep streaming. But if nothing's happening, members videos were the place to be. Become a member. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.